Hello, 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 my darlings. How are you? Well, welcome back to A Slice of Life with Georgianne Thomas. This is my virtual autobiography, my virtual book, my ebook, whatever you want to call it. It's what I like doing. All right, so I know my Deltas. I'm a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, Atlanta Alumni Chapter. Yes, I am. But I just need to tell you why I got on all this pink today. This is an ASHLEY Stewart blouse. And I talk to you about ASHLEY Stewart. You're not going in ASHLEY Stewart because you don't want to go in there with the big girls. You know, all my cute little 12, 10, 14 people. You don't want to go in there. You see, so I don't have any problem because I've been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 X. I've been all the X's. So what's on sale are the 12, 14, 16, and 18s because you all don't want to go in there, but I do. I don't buy anything unless it's on sale. Everything in there is not made the way I would like it to be made, but they have some pretty good items. So I like this. This is nice. I've had it a while. And the pink jewelry is, you know, I wear Karen Roach jewelry, but I got this from Jennifer Green, my friend that used to dance in the basement with me in Gary, Indiana. We used to go to her house and dance. See, we were dancing with the broom that I moved in Tolliston. You remember that? Back in one of those other ones? Anyway, I got on all your jewelry, Jennifer. But I know it's Karen Roach jewelry. Karen is going to be here. If you like my jewelry, then Karen Roach will be here August 25th, 2023. I don't know when you're watching this, but August 25th, 2023. She goes to the hotel by Pascal's restaurant on Northside Drive. There's a hotel right behind. I can't think of it now. I just know that you can see Karen there. Karen has been coming to Atlanta about 30 years. I've been wearing her jewelry a long time. Now, I don't have her jewelry today. It's my standard. I got on my standard this, but I don't have her jewelry around my neck today. But these are her earrings. This is her pink. Oh, did I say she was an AK? I left her out yesterday. But she's not here. She's not constantly, Georgianne, but she has done some great things for me. How do you think I got that video? You remember I had a video up about my song, Not Something Happened Today. I just got to get this song out. Tafasi, we got to get this song out. Can't We Be Friends? What happened? I forgot my own song because I like that part. Can't we be friends? Just ask your neighbor. Anyway, you can go on iTunes, Amazon, Alexa. I want Bonnie Raitt to sing that song, and I want to sing it with her. I want Bonnie Raitt to sing that song. I think we would do well together with that song. If you know Bonnie Raitt, call her up. Bonnie, hey girl. It's a lady over in Atlanta that want to sing her song, Can't We Be Friends? You could go on YouTube. It's on 27 platforms. And then I also want Shirley Ralph to sing it because I think it's a great song for Abbott Elementary because it fits, Janine and Gregory, on the show Abbott Elementary. The characters Janine and Gregory, they're trying to figure out what they're gonna do. And my song addresses that. Can't we be friends? And then, of course, the Friends show, they didn't have no black friends, though. Did they? In the end, they did. Jennifer Hudson, somebody. Anyway, I got a list of my songs. See, I don't write my songs for me to sing. I write them for somebody else to sing. Jennifer Hudson, I got a song for you. I got a song for Mary J. Blige. Yes, I do. Anyway, I'm digressing. We're supposed to be... This is why people write, so they can write what they're supposed to write for the autobiography. But this is more my autobiography. This is my raison d'etre, really, for just keeping it going. So my daughter, who watches my journey, reminded me of some stories. So we got to go back. Okay, well, we got to go back. We're going to go back to the 80s. Oh, wait. Show and tell. Yesterday, I talked about 911, and I talked about TRW, and I had to find the date. It was the date after my birthday that we published this, August 3rd, 1995. This is when we published this piece. And all this writing See all this writing here, all this writing here? All these behavioral objectives, all these descriptions. You better know, you better recognize. Yes, I did. Those three brothers. There's one main brother that did help me with the descriptions. I forget all y'all's name, but you know, I remember that you helped me. And then I did the behavior objectives and something. It was just well done. Prerequisites, what they needed. Anyway, this is long gone now for the city of Atlanta. But if I were writing a book, I would have put this in there. Because, you know, you just can't say you, like I showed you all these people, Banner White and all those people out there. My list is really long. But I just want to show you. I just want to put in my book. So my daughter said, I missed some stories. If you know some stories that I missed, please say, girl, you need to tell them about when we did this. So let me see. The main story. I got two stories. I told you about going to the back door. So I got to go back to Delta Airlines. I was in the 90s and I was already retired and going to something else, but we're going to back it up. We're going to back it up to when Avalon was in 1984. I can't tell without laughing. Okay. You see, I came back to this girl. All right. So let me tell you about 1984. So I'm working at Delta Airlines. And of course, I'm in the secretary pool and with the master's degree. So anyway, I'm in the secretary pool. I'm listening. You could listen to radio if you have. It was, as long as it wasn't disturbing anybody. A little small radio. We didn't have cell phone. Oh, I meant to get the phone. Okay. Anyway, we didn't have cell phones, so I had a little small radio at my desk. Well, WAOK was WAOK is what I was listening to, and they had a contest, and the contest was to win Michael Jackson tickets when Michael Jackson and his Michael Jackson 5. This was their last tour, and Atlanta wasn't on the list. See, we weren't all that back then. That's 1984. We just got to be all this. So I said, oh, it would be so nice to take my daughter to, I could fly because I work for Delta Airlines, so I could fly to Jacksonville. I said, I don't know how I would win some tickets though. So I said, I'm gonna listen. So I listened one day. I didn't get all the names. You had to write the name of the song and who sang the song. Then you had to call in. So one day I said, I didn't go to lunch. I wish I could stop. If I knew how to stop this, I would go out on the patio and get you all a phone that's how you had to do that. Okay. So anyway, a rotary phone. So I told my daughter, when you get to your grandmama's house, see if you can call the WAOK, because I'm gonna have all the songs and I'm gonna have all the people who sang the songs. I'm gonna write it down and then I'm gonna give it to you. And you try to call, let's see if we can win. If we can win, you could go to see Jackson 5. We don't have any money, but if we can win the tickets, all we have to do is get on the plane. It didn't cost anything, get on the plane. I can get to the airport. I can get on the plane. I can share that experience with my daughter. I can get back on the plane, and she went to see the Jackson 5 on the last tour. Well, she called in and won. She said, Mama, we won. But this is a funny thing. When she called, you dialed. And then I'm like, I got to show you tomorrow. I got to bring that phone. You dial. When you did this, it was a rotary phone. I know if it's anybody young watching this, you don't know anything about a rotary phone, but you will when I go by show and tell. So anyway, she got in one time. She was too early. You had to be the 10th caller. And so she got it. I was so happy. So we go to Jacksonville. And I pack everything we need from home because I don't have a lot of money. And I want to make sure that she has a great experience. We have something to eat. You know, you don't buy anything at the airport because it was going to cost too much money. So, and I don't even know how we got to, I think they might have had a little shuttle to the place. Maybe. Or maybe I paid for a taxi. I don't know. But whatever it was minimal for me. I just wanted my daughter to have that experience. And so we got in, we go running up there like we just got off. We're in Jacksonville, Florida, with all our little bags of stuff. And they say, you can't bring that in here. Now, we don't know anybody. We don't have a car to go back to. People are coming for the car. But we need our stuff because we got to go back to Atlanta. What do we do? Come on, people. What do we do? I'll give you a minute. I'm not. But you know Georgianne. So I said, well, y'all know I was a Girl Scout. Okay. I said, well, we'll be right back. So me and my daughter, we trekked ourselves. We found a tree, and we found a hole, or we dug it, or it was some leaves or something. We packed all that stuff. We didn't think about germs, bugs, snakes, alligators, whatever they have in Jacksonville. We need our stuff. Oh Lord, y'all got me laughing. Okay, let me get this together. Okay. We packed our stuff in a little dungeon we made for ourselves. Put all that stuff there, and we went to the show. And it was so good. We were so happy. I was happy. My daughter was happy. It was just great. So we go back, and we dig up all our stuff. Nobody can make up this stuff. Who takes a child? Well, you know I took her to San Juan. Did I tell you about the San Juan trip? I have to go back and see. I told you about Fuego, and the bus was on fire, and I said I spoke Spanish, but I didn't know what Fuego was. The bus was burning up, and somebody said, lady, the bus on fire. Okay, this is equivalent to that. We had all our stuff though, and it was in the ground. It was covered up. We went and got it all. We go back to the airport. Okay, what happened at the airport? The last flight out. Non-revs, no. What two non-revs? Oh, that's what they called us, non-revenue people were left in Jacksonville in the airport. Evelyn Sanders and her mother, Georgianne Thomas. Yes, we were. So, you know, Mama always have stuff. So you just take all that stuff and wrap yourself up. And I asked them, could we stay in the airport? Because, you know, some airports, the small airports, they close down. I don't have all the overnight homeless people. I didn't have a hotel. And, you know, I didn't have a credit card. But we had a good experience. So we stayed in the airport overnight and got the first flight out. Did they have breakfast? Might have had breakfast. Did I have to take the child to school? I don't know. Can I tell you some story? I used to commute Atlanta, Los Angeles. I was dating somebody out there. So we went out on the weekend and flew back in on Monday. And Evelyn changed clothes and got herself together. I washed her up, got all ready on the plane. And we got off the plane and I took her to the bus stop. Because we took the red eye in. Yeah. The child herself could write some book. I'm glad she came out sane. I am. But I just think that where I lacked in money, you see, I tried to make it up in experience. People who had money didn't necessarily go to Disneyland. Yeah, Disneyland out there in LA. They didn't go to Disneyland, maybe. They had the money, but maybe they didn't think to go, or maybe they were gonna go. I don't know. But when you work for the airline and you don't have much, you figure out things, you figure out ways to go places. You just go places. And that's what I did. I went places. We ate on the plane. And so that was my Jacksonville story. And I love them. I'm glad that Evelyn remembered it. Especially the dialing. Oh, so here's the icing. Let's talk about Delta Airlines. So I'm so excited that we won the tickets. I'm thinking everybody will be happy for me in my department. My phone keep ringing because I told somebody I was about to do this show and they're calling me, but I can't stop and do that. Anyway, I was so happy that my daughter had won the tickets, and I was going to get a chance to take my little girl, my daughter, to see Jackson on the last tour. And I told people, guess what? I listened to radio, and my daughter won the tickets, and so I was just excited. So it must have been on a weekend, because when I got back to work that Monday, what do you think? Delta Airlines had a new policy. They sure did. Or maybe my department had a new policy. You couldn't listen to radio anymore at your desk. Wow. Amazing. I mean, just amazing. I was so happy. I wouldn't have said anything if I thought it was going to cause a problem. I just wanted my daughter to have the experience. I was doing my work. Maybe they thought I wasn't doing my work. Nobody ever said anything about my work. I mean, come on. I had earned a master's degree. I came out of Spelman. Anyway, we had a great time. We did. So that's that story. The other story is, so that's in the 80s. I took you back a minute. So I got to take you back to Joe Nida. I love Joe Nida. As you know, Joe Nida Mitchell. So one day, Joe Nida, and she was a Delta. Joe Nida wanted me to have a different lifestyle. She thought my lifestyle should be better. She and Wayne McMillan, they just couldn't figure out why. I was like, I'm doing the best I can. I wasn't getting a whole lot of money from anywhere. And all I knew to do was work. I wasn't going to bother my family. I mean, I was good with it. So Jonata said, you shouldn't park in the employee parking lot. It's just too much work. You should park over here on Virginia Avenue, and they'll bring you your car. I said, girl, what are you talking about? She said, if you park over here on Virginia Avenue, and they bring you your car, that means if you need gas, if you need something goes on wrong with the car, it's a mechanic's place. You got somewhere where, you in Abilene, you need to have this service. So I need for you to have this service. And so we just going to work out the money. You just work it out. Just don't do this, do that. So I said, you know what? That's not a bad idea. She had the Cadillac. I had whatever I had. So one night, now, mind you, we got on the uniforms. So, at that time, the airport, I guess it was the airport, same airport, but we were on the arriving end of Delta Airlines with people coming through baggage. So we way on that end, right? And on the other end was people who were coming in. So the Sky Cap, well, the Sky Caps didn't park in the Delta parking lot. That's a whole nother story. But Jonata said, we're going to park on Virginia Avenue, and they drive you over and drop you off. You don't have to go on through any buses. I mean, it was a great service, and I figured out how to have that service. I felt like I deserved it. So after Jonata said I deserved it. So Jonata's standing there with the high heels on, the lashes, you know how she was. Everything was impeccable. The scarf was just, the shirt was so white and starched you could see it in the dark, and I'm standing next to her, the replica, all right, because she was like, this is how we roll over here. So we're standing there waiting for the gentleman to come and bring us our cars. So this white guy drives up now, and it's late, so it's late. So there's no, from one end to the other end, there are no cars, there are no people, because we're getting off work. And so it was late. So a car rushes up, a white guy jumps out and throws the keys at us and says, give this to Avis or whatever it was. I got to run and try to catch my flight. And he goes to the airport. So Jonata and I try to figure out what Sky Cap did he think we were. I mean, two women, two women. We looked nice. Everything was in order. We're standing there with our pocketbooks. And you know, Jonata had hers on her arm. Like she had that Spelman thing, but she's a Fisk sister, okay? She had that Spelman Fisk, HBCU, that pocketbook was on her arm and she was standing there. And he threw the keys at us. Now, Jonata she let those keys. I said, what are we going to do? She said, I don't know what. They didn't have anything to do with me. I said, but Jonata, we got on, we got on the Delta Universe. She said, we're off from work. And he made an assumption. I said, I know. So I picked up the keys. Jonata did not move. I said, well, you stay out here. Tell the guy I'll be right back. So I took the keys into a red coat. I said, it's a car out here. And the guy threw the keys at us. And the red coat was like, I said, well, I'm gonna say that here are the keys. I'm gonna give them to you. Because you just never know. I thought that was horrible. All he saw was two black people, like sky caps. Not that I was bad, but that's what you thought about the two women standing there with their pocketbooks. To throw the keys? It's amazing about people, isn't it? I have a girlfriend, the same woman that I like, that I don't talk too much, that taught me about value. She says, people are funny, aren't they? People are funny, aren't they? I mean, I tell my students that all the money you pay, even myself, I know that, all the money you can pay for this, you can pay for this, your eyelashes, all this. You do that for yourself. It's your own feeling about yourself. Because this is going to take precedence. This color on this skin is going to take precedence over all of this. You can have on Prada, Chrétien, Louboutin, all of it. And somebody's going to make a decision when they see you coming. That's why there's a piece in the humanities called white privilege. But I want people to know that what we didn't have white face privilege. Now let me explain that. That has nothing to do with the 90s, does it? Anyway, white face privilege. When a person who has immigrated here looks at you and gives you a lesson on how they came here with nothing, how they worked their behinds off, and how they got to the top of their game, and look at us, and you've been here and you were born here. Stop them and tell them you had white face privilege. You see, when they walked in the bank, nobody knew they were an immigrant. When they walked in the bank, nobody knew they didn't speak English. When they walked in the bank, nobody knew anything. All they saw was a person with white skin walking in the bank. Nobody said anything. But when I walked in behind them with all my stuff, then all my stuff made an announcement. Your stuff didn't make an announcement. Did nobody know whether or not your religion? Nobody knew because your face is white. And then what about the Latinos that have white skin? And nobody know. All that gets lumped in America. It's unfair, but it happens. The same way we're really light skinned. There's some light skinned folk. We got some people that my friend talked about. There was a lot of raping went on in the slave quarters. So you got a lot of light, half white. Can't tell the difference. My in-laws, some of them. That's a whole nother story about when they brought me home. Anyway, I'm not gonna say that. They were really kind to me, but it's a whole light skin, dark skin. We do that to ourselves. It's so stupid. It's just so stupid. It's so stupid. The brown paper bag tests. These people don't care anything about your brown paper bag test. Go somewhere down these one country roads and be light, but not light enough, and see what happens. Now I got some friends that's light enough. Are they passing? They won't say they're passing. They let you guess. Somebody was here at the house one time. He working on the roof, and he says, "I don't say I'm passing. I just let you assume." And sometimes he says, I stop and say, "Wait a minute, excuse me. You've gone too far. Let me tell you who I am." I guess that's all right. I'm not going to judge, because we get judged all the time. So that's my story. My story about going to Jacksonville, I had to give you that. My story about Jonata and throwing the keys, WAOK, and the ringing. I think that's it. And I wanted to tell you about Karen, AKA. Need to add her to the list of my AKAs, because she's the reason that my song "Can't We Be Friends" was I got a video from Angela Bassett, Soror Angela Bassett, because of Karen Roach. So I thank you, Karen, for trying to work it. If Angela Bassett would call Soror Angela Bassett, would call the other Soror and say, "Sing this song for the Abbott show," if Angela Bassett would call Shirley Raff, two Sorors at that level, and ask her to sing "Can We Be Friends" it's for the two characters in Abbott Elementary. It would be great. Or there's another place where it can go, Sisters over there with Tyler Perry. "Can't We Be Friends?" It fits. It's a song for everybody. It's not a song for me. I'm singing it, but I'm singing it so you can hear it. I like it, but I need somebody else to hear. Okay, so I spent my show today on cleanup and stories. I think that's it. I think I need to make me a list, because I had a good time. I had a good time with my daughter talking about how she said, did we make the flight back? I said, no, we stayed in the Jacksonville. Nobody was in there, but they let us stay in there. I mean, I had a child. All right, this is my last thing. I gave you TRW, so they put me in the 90s. I just want you to know I did do that, ACRS, for the city of Atlanta by way of TRW. It was a good feeling. All right, this is my last thing. I made a note. Because I have a burn on my arm. You might see that burn. See that burn right there? And my sister would fall out laughing. She's probably laughing right now when I say, I got this burn cooking. That word stop. Who tells their child at age 15, I'm not cooking anymore? I made an announcement to my daughter. I'm not cooking anymore. We lived on Ralph McGill when she was 15, turned 16, turned 17, Ralph McGill. I said, I'm not cooking anymore. And we went to Mix. Do you all remember Mix right there by the hospital, right there on Peachtree, where it used to be, it's Emory Hospital right there, Lynch something, I don't know, and Peachtree, 50 something Peachtree. I wish I knew where the Mixed people were. I would get a GoFundMe to help them get that started again. That was the best food. And not only did we live over there, when we moved to Peachtree North, we just could look out the window and see if it was a crowd. Oh, that was best. Anyway, I got this because if you don't cook a lot, you do, but I do cook. So I decided to reach in the oven and pull something out. Instead of me pulling it straight out, my arm went up. Oh my God, did it hurt? Yes, it did. Yes, it did. So anyway, I didn't give you much of the 90s, but I'm trying to clean up some things that I left off. For instance, when I said God is good, on the last show, I said God is good. He directed our path to Donnelly. Why? Not only was it, if you're going to have breast cancer, that was my first cancer. But I'm going too far, so I'm before the cancer. Maybe it was before the cancer. So we get to Donnelly, and my daughter looks out the window and says, there's a sign that says Big Bethel is going to be across the street. I said, girl, Big Bethel not going to be across the street. This was a Seventh-day Adventist church. And so they said, Big Bethel coming soon, whatever, whatever. I said, I tell you what, Big Bethel's not coming over here to a Seventh-day Adventist church. I'm telling you that now. I said, I tell you what, you get up Sunday morning. If you look out that window and see some cars, I'm going to get up and go to Big Bethel. Because we had been at Ben Hill United Methodist Church. Alvin was in the choir with Kasim Reed. And I was in the choir with Barbara Harris. With that, what's his name? I can't think of his name. He could play. Oh, my God. And who was a lot of people in that church back then. I loved Henderson. Oh, wasn't he the best pastor? Oh, my God. I saw him everywhere, including in the clubs. I liked him. He was like Jesus. He went to the club. I said, hey, Bishop. Hey, Reverend. You been in the club? He didn't ask me why I was in the club. And I didn't ask him why he was in the club. I liked him being there. Because somebody would be at church Sunday that said they saw him. And anyway, that's a long story. Anyway, so I said, if you look out that window and see some people over there, we going to get up and go over there at Big Bethel, because I know some people from Big Bethel. Pauline Morgan White was over there at Big Bethel. Jesse Hill's people were over there. It's a bunch of people I already knew. Alvin got up, said, Mama, people are across the street. I said, okay. I was a woman of my word. I got up and we strutted over there. Best move ever. James Davis was he's Bishop Davis now. He was the new pastor. Maybe he had been there a couple of years, and they were renovating Big Bethel, and they were going to be right across the street for a long period of time. And we met Geraldine Dotson, Jerry Dotson, met us at the door, the best person who could have met us at the door, and, well, I can't think of her name, Thomas. She's Thomas. She was Ogle something. Oh, I went blank. Anyway, those two met us at the door. And they were so friendly and so warm. But when they got ready to sit us down, people had seats that belonged to them. I love church people. So-and-so sit here. So-and-so sit here. So they finally found us some seats. But I liked the way they handled it. And because they were so friendly and so nice, and the church was just wonderful. And the message was all of that. And I was just like, wow. Do you know, my daughter went from new members class to the usher board, to the steward board, to the pulpit under James Davis. And I went from new members class to trustee, Sunday school teacher. Oh, and she went to Sunday school teacher. I loved Big Bethel. I thought I worked over there because Reverend James Davis, who is now Bishop James Davis, you will work if you're a trustee. If you're a member over there, you are going to be busy. I did not know that I didn't work there. I thought I worked at Big Bethel. That's how often I was there all day, every day, for something, every meeting. But he was a smart man and still is. Bought up all that land down there. He said, you cannot be landlocked. And when they finished fixing the church, we went back over there, repairing it. And we went back. I love myself some Big Bethel to this day. I don't go now, but I'm still a member there. That's why I want to be rolled down. My daughter is, what church? She's at Gaines Chapel now. She's an AME pastor now. It was James Davis that snatched her up, took her to Birmingham, Alabama with him. He didn't take her to Washington with him, though. He only took one person. But he done good. She's done well. 10 years, she said, this Sunday. She's been independent pastor, I guess, moving around, itinerant. I'm very proud of that. I'm very proud of that because y'all know, you heard these stories. I left out a story. I left out a place. We lived in some apartments down here on Cascade. What is Section 8? Down on Cascade, down when you cross over Fairburn, you keep going down to some apartments down there. I didn't stay there long. I didn't like it there. I didn't stay there long. But would we sleep on a cot maybe? I don't know. Anyway, I'm past my time. I'm past my time. I don't know how much of this is made any difference. I don't even know how to write it. If I had to write it up, I couldn't write it up. When you look back over your life, ask yourself how you get over, how you do that, Georgianne. How you say, I want to go take my daughter to Jacksonville. I'm going to listen to the radio station. Everybody else had money to buy the tickets. I didn't have no money. How you have people throw keys at you? Prejudice and racism. So there's a lot of it that happened. But it was all right. I love you and you can't do anything about it.